Hello everybody, this is Solar Tiger with another video, and this is a video about my aquarium. This is a 20-gallon aquarium. It holds 20 gallons or 86 litres of water. This is an aquarium that I've just set up recently, and it's in my bedroom. It's sitting on a chest of drawers with a piece of wood on the top to spread the weight out evenly, as when this aquarium is full it's pretty heavy. So this is the aquarium. I'm just going to show it to you. I'll just zoom out a bit. It's hard to do whilst holding the camera. Okay, this is the aquarium. As you can see, I've only set it up recently, so it's a bit bare. The substrate is just normal gravel, the Dorset gravel. Just focus a bit. And it's the pretty fine grade of gravel. The gravel is about 2 to 3 inches thick, so that I can put plants in. And there's some rock, there's some shale, some plum coloured shale, and this big stone. And the plants I got in here so far is, I got some kabomba. I'll just focus on it. This is the green kabomba, and it seems to be growing well. It arrived as a bunch of stems, and it started to produce roots, and it started to shoot. So that's the green kabomba. This plant is supposed to be good at combating algae, as it's fast growing, so we will see how that goes. Over here we have some red kabomba, and I've heard that red plants are harder to grow, they need more light. I'll come to that in a little bit later. These plants I got here were in a bundle, where you get a couple of stems of each thing. In the back we have some Vallisneria. That was the only rooted plant in the bundle. There's 2 plants in the back there. So that's that. Over here we have some Egeria densa, or Anacharis I think it's also called. There's a couple of stems of that, and that started producing roots and started to produce shoots. It's supposed to be a fast growing plant, but we'll see. Over here we have some Java fern. I bought this from the pet shop, attached to the bogwood, and it seems to be doing okay. It's producing little plantlets, as you can see. I'll just focus in again. Focus. This is the Java fern. It reproduces by producing plantlets at the end of the leaves. I've got several of those. I'll just zoom out again. So that's that. Now, this tank is, at the moment, it's lit by a single. There's a single 25 watt T8 fluorescent tube on the top of this tank. It's got a tropical daylight bulb in it. You will see I got this tank second hand, and the canopy, let me just put a light on a second. The canopy that's on this tank is actually meant to fit on a 3-foot tank, a 36-inch tank. This tank is only a 30-inch, it's a 2.5 foot, so it overhangs the sides. But again, I picked this up for free, so that's what I've got on it at the moment. Two things about the light fixture. One, it only has one 25-watt fluorescent tube in it. That's one. The second thing is that after this has run for a while, the top gets pretty hot. But that's just because they sealed in the ballast to try and make it waterproof. So what I'm going to do is I have ordered a starter unit for 2 T5 24-watt bulbs. So I'm going to put 2 24-watt bulbs over this tank, some T5s, and I've ordered some 10K bulbs, 10,000K bulbs, and so I will be having 48 watts of light over this tank instead of 25, and that will give me approximately 2.5 watts per gallon, so that should do a lot better. This tank has a capacity of 20 gallons, that is without any substrate in it. After I put in 20 kilos of substrate, and when I measured the water, it took 57 litres to fill it up to this current level. So instead of holding 86 litres, it only holds 57 at the moment. So you have to allow for that. At the moment I haven't filled it right up to the top because I'm going to buy, or rather I have ordered some more plants to go in this tank as it is a bit bare. So I like to have lots of plants in my tank. I do not believe in using fake plastic plants, I just don't like them, and they're not as good for the ecosystem of the tank. At the back there is a heater. That's a Visitherm 100-watt heater, and it seems to be doing a reasonable job. I had this tank set up before in a different area, and the heater tended to scale up. I had to scrape lime scale off of the heater, so I think the water must have been hard. The filter in the corner over there is a Fluval 205. No, I don't correct it. It's a Fluval 2, the older style, not the current style. It has just one filter foam element inside, and it performs very well. It has a directional outlet, and the suckers that hold the holder unit suck reasonably well. It holds it well in place. It's very quiet, and I believe it only consumes about 4 watts of electricity. So that's that. I am starting with the tank with just plants, and I'll add fish at a later date. So that is this tank. It is fairly simple. I have ordered more plants to fill up the tank to make it look interesting. So I have used some liquid fertilizer in this tank. I bought some liquid fertilizer as I'm going to basically double the lighting over this tank. So we will see how it goes. So this is Solar Tiger with my first aquarium video. I have a stick-on thermometer here. I did have a longer strip here before, but it just stopped working. So I had a job to remove it, but I have. And I'll probably go with a alcohol type thermometer that sticks on the inside of the glass. I think that will probably work better. So to hold the new lighting system, my two T5 fluorescent tubes, I will have to build a canopy for this tank, one that actually fits it. The dimensions of this tank is 30 long by 15 tall by 12 deep. That's front to back deep. So it's a standard 20-gallon long. So that is the size of this tank. As I said, I got this tank for free on rubbish day. I picked it up, and amazingly it didn't leak. And I picked up the canopy on a separate day, but that was free as well. So that is that. I did also, I picked up this small tank. I just stick the light on. Well, I picked up this small tank. It holds approximately about 15 litres. It was a bit of an impulse buy at the discount shop, and I stuck some plants in it. Basically the plants that are in the other tank, and this red plant, which I believe is Rotala, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I bought a small plant bundle off of eBay, and I put them in this tank. So I bought the tank came with the filter in the back, but I bought the heater, which is a 20-watt heater, and I set up this tank. Then I started reading on eBay online, and I basically discovered that this tank was too small to put any fish in it, other than having a beater, and I wasn't too interested in that. So I thought I would dig out the other tank, which had been sitting in the shed for many years since we moved house. So I thought I would set that up. Now the plants that are in the other tank were in this tank, and they were starting to grow well, but bearing in mind this tank only holds about 15 litres, and I built this canopy on the top, which has an 8-watt bulb in it, 8-watt fluorescent tube in it. This is a tropical and plants tube, and if you worked out the light to volume ratio, it was about 3 watts per gallon, and that's why the plants were started to grow quite fast in the case of the Kabomba and the Anacaris. And I realised that the plants needed good light, and that with the fixture on the other tank, on this tank, with the 25-watt tube and the volume of water, this was less than 1 watt per gallon, and it simply wasn't going to cut it. So I am changing the lighting. So what I'm going to do with this tank, as I can't really keep any fish in it, is I'm going to use it to grow plants in. Now, this red plant, as I said, red plants in general need more light, and as this tank at the moment has more light in it, I am trying to get this to grow. It's not in the greatest condition. The leaves are sort of falling apart a bit, but on this side I can see some new growth. I put some of the fertilizer in this tank as well, and I just want to see if it will pick up in this tank. If it grows any good in this tank, I'll transfer it over to the other tank. But at the moment, a lot of the leaves are falling apart, and you can see bits floating around, so I don't want that in the other tank. And also, all the plants came from eBay apart from the Java fern, which came from my local Pets at Home. And I had it in this tank for a while, and the annoying thing now is that there are loads of snails in this tank now, as you can see. Snail, another snail. There are snails appearing. There's one at the back there, one at the top there. So there's lots of snails in here, and they come from the pet shop. So if you buy plants from anywhere, you have to make sure you really do wash them, and make sure there's no snails in them. Otherwise your tank will be full of snails. There's quite a few snails in this tank now, and I've only had it up for a week, 2 or 3 weeks maybe. So that's something to bear in mind. So this is Solar Tiger saying thank you for watching my aquarium video, and there will be more aquarium videos to follow. So I'm now branching out into aquatics as well. So until next time, this is Solar Tiger saying thank you for watching. Thank you.